Hi, this is Jonathan. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about 3 guitars that you should own. As a novice or as a professional player, or somewhere in between, you are bound to be in a situation where you're confused as to which guitar to get. Given the fact that there's so many guitars in the market, so many make, so many brands, so many styles, You have the Strat, the Tallies, the Les Pauls, the SGs, the semi-solid, and you have variations of each. You have the Super Strat, you have Tallies with big speed tremolo. You have a whole lot of variations. So sometimes it gets a bit overwhelming, deciding on which guitar to get, especially when you just started playing guitar. Now, I want to approach this in 3 levels. Like, if you're a novice, you should probably get a guitar that you feel good in your hands. A guitar that you feel comfortable with in your hand. And you can probably get a guitar that has the features of all 3 elements of the basic electric guitar, which is a Strat, Les Paul, and the Tally. Now, you can probably get a guitar with a humbucker, or a single humbucker, or a humbucker but with a tremolo system, so that you can actually get used to playing with a tremolo arm. And then you work your way up and see which suits your style better, because if you find that you like the sound of a Tally, and if you're into country music and you're into punk or stuff, even heavy metal, I've seen heavy metal bands playing Tallies. If you like that Tally sound, then go for it. I was reminded by a subscriber saying that Jimmy Page, in his Led Zeppelin days, a lot of his solos and all his guitars was actually recorded with a Tally. But then on stage, he brought a Les Paul, and I knew that for a fact. And the Tally has its own distinct sound. So if you're liking the Tally, then as you progress with your guitar or skills, and if you decide to, okay, this guitar is, is me, I'm more suited in playing a Tally, then get a Tally. If you think that a Strat is good, you like the tremolo arm, you like the single coil pickups, and you're like, okay, I'll get a Strat. If you like the Les Paul with its warm sound, with its, this guitar is basically built for rock, not really. You can play jazz with this, and this is so versatile. And if you think that this guitar is good for you, then save up your money, your hard-earned cash, and get a Les Paul. Now, as a session guitarist, I would have to depend on these three styles of guitar to make a living. Sometimes, having a Strat just will not cut it, because having a single coil in the neck pickup is not the same as having a humbucker in the neck pickup of a Les Paul. It just sounds totally different. And the neck pickup in the Tally will sound totally different from the neck pickup in the Strat, and vice versa. So it's the makeup of the design of the guitars. Don't ask me why. Ask Leo Fender. Ask the guy who asked Les Paul. Ask him what came into his mind when he designed the Les Paul. Ask Leo Fender what came into his mind when he designed the Stratocaster and the Strat. Because all three guitars have very different characteristics. They all sound different. Now, I've been through Vari-X, the Line 6 Vari-X, where you have a selection of a whole lot of guitars at your fingertips, and all you need to just switch and emulate the sound, of a Les Paul, of a Strat, of even a 12-string, what's it called, the Angelical, or a Gretsch, or even a sitar, You can emulate all that with just with a touch of a switch. But I outgrew that phase, because I just find that it's different, because the guitar is the same, and just the only thing that changes is the sound. Now, given the fact that Line 6 has released the Jim Tyler style of Vari-X, and those are really good guitars, and I believe the lag time has been cut significantly, and I think they're really great for what it does. But for me, I've outgrew that stage where I wanted to play a guitar that emulates other guitar. I just couldn't get myself to do it. Playing on the Les Paul is it's just a total different feel from playing on the Strat, and vice versa on a good Tally. Given the fact that the cheapest guitar of all these three that I featured in the song was the Harley Benton Tally, but the characteristic of that guitar just behaves like a Tally. And I played Tallys before, and I know how it's supposed to feel. Tallys are, they're really tricky, because you need to get the right one to get that Tally sound. And a lot of it has to do with the neck, the way it's constructed, the thickness, the girth of it, and the way it is. Whether it's a U shape or a C shape, it doesn't matter, because if your hands are accustomed to it, then fine. Now, given the fact that I've been playing sessions for all these years, and I've done countless of sessions, and sometimes the producers will want certain guitars, a certain sound, and I have no choice but to have all these guitars at the ready. But if you're not a professional or session player, or even a professional player, then you just have to buy your time, don't rush, and decide which guitar is the best for you. My advice to young players is to go out and borrow guitars from your friends. Like, for example, if you have a friend who has say a Les Paul or SG, and you say, hey, let me try this guitar for a while, a couple of days, to see how it is. And after a while, you gain experience. It's all about experience. It's all about time spent on individual guitars. Then you will know how this guitar feels, how this guitar sounds like, right? And these three guitars that I'm talking about, the Tally, the Strat, and the Les Pauls. Well, the Les Paul has these humbuckers, and now with the new innovation, you have a split coil, and you can actually split your humbucker, and you can actually have like single coil sounds, giving you the extra palette of sound. Then you have the Tally, and a lot of them has configured the Tallys to the Nashville Tallys, for example, single, and single. They just stick a middle pickup right smack in the middle, and you have a Nashville Tally. And then, of course, you have those who have a humbucker installed in the bridge, and like the Blues Boy, which I played from G&L, they have the humbucker in the bridge, in the neck position. And these are all different configurations, and you can split coil the humbuckers, so it gives you further palettes of sound. Now the Strat, you all might know, Strat is like one of my favorite guitars to go to. So there's so many configurations: humbucker, single humbucker, single humbucker, single humbucker, humbucker. And talking about humbucker. Check out Peter Frampton. In his Black Beauty, his Les Paul, he has 3 humbuckers on it. So I don't know whether I just split call. That would be so cool if they're split. Yeah. In any case, just a thought. So these are things that is at your disposal, because you could get guitars like this, in a shop online. Just take a time and see which one suits you most. But I would advise, if you have the means, get all 3. Traditional. Get a Les Paul with a humbucker, get a Stratocaster with 3 single coil pickups, and get a Tele with a normal Tele setup. It doesn't matter whether you change the pickups to Seymour Duncans or to other pickups. It doesn't really matter. But stay the original configuration, and then get to know and get to enjoy it. I didn't have the luxury to try all this, because I was working, and I didn't have time to sit down and say, okay, I really want to try this. And I think the first one that I actually did was the Les Paul Classic, because I really wanted a Les Paul Classic, and I was aiming for one, I was waiting for one. It was so expensive, I couldn't afford it, and I waited until a friend of mine let it go, at a real good price, and I never regret buying this Les Paul. It's one of my favorite guitars, one of my treasured guitars. And this started the whole thing going. In the end, I contemplated on, okay, maybe I want to try a traditional Tele. Maybe I should get a traditional Strat. And that's now my next target is to get a real good SG. That would be really cool. I've got myself a Tokai 335 kind of like a replica, and it's nice. It behaves like a 335, sounds like a 335. But given the limited space in the studio, I had it ported to Jeffrey's house for safekeeping, because this Les Paul would suit the same purpose. Although this sounds a little bit different, yeah. But if I want to do a recording with a 335 kind of sound, I could always use a Les Paul. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, just post it down in the comment section down below. If you have any comments, post it down in the comment section down below. This channel is meant for discussion. There are throwers out there who comes into this channel and warm it and ran away. These are the guys that I will vet out, but don't pay no heed to them. I just want to keep discussion going and help each other along. Thank you guys for being so supportive of me. So feel free to join this channel if you want to. If you just drop by here and press that bell if you want to be notified of new videos that comes out. Remember, give me a thumbs up for this video, and I'll see you again in the next video. Ciao.